What's up everybody, this is Ripples in Wales back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. Happy Monday to you all. Weather's improved here, so we've got a day where we can get out and do some stuff and it's not a 50 mile an hour northeasterly gale. Anyhow, I wanted to make a video on a few different topics about 2024 and where this is going. I had a big chat with a mate yesterday who called me around for some a bit of a chat about crypto and where I thought things were going, and we talked about various things. And you know, he wanted to put another entry into the market, which is cool. And we discussed, you know, what the timing was like, what potentially the future 12 to 24 months would hold. And I said to him, you know, actually I need to do a video on this because it would benefit you all, or at least, you know, it might help us all. And so yeah, we got talking about it, and it was interesting to see, you know, to kind of hear us rattle off in a bit of a chat what we thought what might occur over the next, especially 12 months being the critical thing. So let's go through a bit of a journey and see where things are at. We can see, first of all, Bitcoin has made some moves, and we're back up to the kind of the $30,000 mark. The relief rally, as we call it in this world, in this new cycle, is well underway, and you're not quite up to the shoulder line yet. So it means that there's money coming back in the Bitcoin cycle, and we're into cycle 4 now, which the next cycle, the halving, will be in April. So there's liquidity coming through. We know that we're into an election year next year, and the likelihood is that they are going to print 2024. There's even talk that the Bitcoin 4-year cycles were deliberately put together to time against the US elections, which is genius if that's the case, because it forces the hand politically and geopolitically to better sounder money. Whether you like Bitcoin or not, it's here to stay. It ain't going anywhere, and its timing of its halving next year is an election cycle. Absolutely brilliant. So we have that first of all to lean on, and whether there's if we're following like Blockchain Backer, there's a great channel here. I'd urge you all to watch his videos. He believes we're following basically a 2014 to 2018 cycle. So we're not going to have a breakover, a collapse like we did in the COVID year here. He thinks that we're going a step toe up each time. I guess we could look at the monthlies and see that, which is a different path completely than the previous cycle. And we must guard for recency bias, as he very much said. And this was, I think, the 2014. See, we went up into this point here where we're at now, and then you continued on this insane institutional. Well, this wasn't an institutional run, but this was a bull run of bull runs. And he believes that this is what we're in for with Bitcoin now. It's a change in structure compared to the last cycle. This was the 2018 to 22 cycle. Sorry, this here. And he thinks the next one is more likely to be this, which takes out this fall back down of a relief rally. This did occur here, but it more plateaued in 2014 to 16. Anyway, so that's one thing to look at. I urge you to go and look at Blockchain Backer. We can see with the XRP charts, they are very forward-facing, the charts, as you all know by now by listening to your favourite TA analysts. We can see that there's a reasonably decent accumulation going on with XRP. We can just draw a line over from there to there, and we can see that it hasn't invalidated that yet. We can see the trajectory is going to continue in accumulation until it maybe reaches necklines of previous all-time highs, whenever that may occur. And then you're looking at a couple handle breakout, which would be very, very interesting in that case. You've got previous all-time highs if we just zero it there. So when that funnel breaks, you're going to have a couple handle, and then it'll move to the upside, I dare say, quite sharply. So the charts are forward-facing. They're showing the strong accumulation of the XRP, which means a positive thing. We know that we're going into a Bitcoin cycle. We know that the XRP cycle follows the Bitcoin cycle, so the liquidity from the money coming into Bitcoin will eventually cycle back over into the XRP charts. But we also know there's big moves being made in the Ripple world, and with the utility for XRP. We know the ISO go live is occurring. Although ISO is neutral, it allows for easier onboarding with the Ripple enterprise and products that they have, with things like ODL and whatnot. Although they've scrapped ODL now, haven't they? It's a different terminology, I think, that they're using. So anyway, things are looking positive for the next 2 or 3 years, and we were looking 3 years out in this conversation, and we went over a great deal of things. The likelihood is that money will be printed during the political year next year in the United States with the with the elections on, and we saw kind of hints of that in the bearable guy timeline when we looked in 2024 at this big orange circle. Big yellow circle with the full teeth on it. 4 teeth 2024, and the yellow is the USD. We also can see that on the ship if we're going to convert it back to little things here, and I'm not saying this is going to be the case, but when USD is the largest sale of all, it usually means that the printer's gone burr. So little things like that point us to a large scale printing of dollars, which eventually find themselves back into the market and eventually push prices up. Now, when we have these conversations with my friend, we don't talk about the BG123 stuff, but for you guys, I kind of like to bring it in. It's fun, it's kind of interesting, and we definitely have got the Lodestar 3 thing coming up in December of this year. 2023 December. We also know that December is the Christmas scene here. We've got Lodestar 3 and then the old bookshelf with the gavel next to it. So we know that there's some sort of ripple change going on in the change with the ripple in the last part of the lawsuit. There's likely to be some sort of deal haggled out by November, or at least a thought of what the deal might be, and but certainly by spring of next year. We see the Knight, by the way, still by the end of December, January in his his armor. With the level playing field, which we can see at the bottom of the calendar here, we can go back to the Ripple Riddler and see these arms are wide open, and usually that marks a calendar date from 9 to 3, so it could mean from some September all the way through winter solstice at 12, at month 12, back into the third month, which is March, and that might indeed mark the time that we're looking at, the next 6 months from this point to this point. Everything is used in crosses, marks in time. Solstice is very important. I dare say that something will occur in that. But the likelihood of things occurring immediately are slim to none. But we also know that when we go back to the BG123, by April, when this is released, April the 12th, 2024, the ship has set sail and the storm has passed. And I believe the ship is going that way because the eyes of all the characters are looking to the east, and the ship is sailing from west to east, the return across from America to the likes of the European shores. So we got that kind of going on. So we know that when this ship's setting sail, it's in reference to kind of Ripple potentially IPOing and beginning on their journey, or the journey of XRP. This is post on the Bearable Guy post, so it has something to do with Ripple. And their ship setting sail is in reference, same thing as when the balloon sets sail and goes to new heights, which usually references the beginning of the journey. Okay, that's how I interpret it. You can also interpret it your own way. There's no dogma here. You all have your own senses and things to look at. So when we were discussing this next year, and we can see this push on for institutional investment, we can see other things in the environment like Larry Fink pushing Bitcoin ETFs. They think they're going to push a Bitcoin ETF before end of year 2023. That will send the markets mental, and it's likely to sorry, I've got a phone call going on here. It's likely to push prices into higher latitudes for sure. We've also got things like Coinbase launching perpetual futures, which is very interesting. It's on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP. I love the way they leave XRP till last. Very, very interesting. So they're expecting volatility in the markets. There is a great video to watch between Brad Kimes and Linda Jones. If you look on the screen here, I'd urge you to look at that and see where she thinks and why she thinks there's this Coinbase institutional perpetual futures being launched, and we don't know what countries they're in certainly, so it's likely to be for the hedge funds and the VC capitals over in things like the Cayman Islands and whatnot. So they're going to short the markets like hell, and they're going to make a good turn out with liquidity. So the reason that they're putting these futures out is because they're expecting volatility. What does volatility mean? It means price. Yeah, it means push into price, and it means things going. It's also, I love the way they use the reset logo there. Yeah, the 8, the figure of 8. Very, very interesting that. So we've got all these things lining up, and when we're looking to 2024, like I've said to you a few times when we're looking at the charts, I expect 2024 to be a very, very interesting year. X and the shield points that way. We're moving into January. We've got the White House up here, and X on the old recycle machine points to 2024. The arm is still there. One thing I want you to all make a note of here is there's one avatar or character missing from this particular scene, which is the arm. Where is the arm in this picture? They are not there. So the SEC is not in this picture. Very interesting, isn't it? We're going to go into that in detail again. But the point being, there is no resistance here, is there? You know, this is a very positive scene that shows things are moving north. And the bear is stood at the top of the mast on like a big candle, almost, you can imagine, looking up. And I dare say it has something to do with the dollar in this particular window, because the bear is up against the yellow, is on the mast in the crow's nest against the dollar in that. Also, the knight has changed his armor here. He's in a brand new shining set of armor. And if we go forward again, we can look at this later scene in 2024, and the knight is even a better swathe of armor again. He's in his gold armor. Usually that means that he's at a rise in stature. And there is on the brick up here the MWM upside down, which is most wanted man. And you can see there's a massive turnaround of guard here in late 2024. The king's scepter is being offered to the knight, which is very interesting if you take the analogy of that, which is the handing over of the power. Okay, and everything is laid down. So we've got a year between 2023 and 2024 when a lot is going to happen for Ripple, a lot of positive things, and we're going to see that change of structure, which will have an effect on the tokenomics and the price, I dare say. That's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But you can imagine if there's big structural occurrences going on like that, there's going to be a lot of attention on the space. So 2024 is likely to be a very pivotal year. That's not to say it's not going to be without its hurdles. Like you say, there's a lot of geopolitical stuff going on in the world right now. Stuff that's not cool, not very good for the world. And a lot of this stuff is born out of chaos, okay? So understand that. In the other news on this now, it's a really good channel to watch. He's under XRP DN1. He's got a great channel on YouTube. I watch his TA with Close Call. Really good guy. He's called the Scientific Investor SI. Really keep an eye on his posts. He's got some cool stuff going on there, and also there seems to be a bit of a battle of odds as this Lionheart by the name of Steven Nareov calls out the corruption between Jay Clayton and against Charles Gasparino. And Steven Nareov is a monster of a guy. He was in the original foundings of the Ethereum tokenomics. He designed the tokenomics, I believe, around Ethereum. He was right in the atrium of the development of this, and he is on a quest to pull out the corruption in this space. He's got no fear. He's going for it, and he's going to drag anyone into it. And Charles Gasparino is in his crosshairs now, as Charles Gasparino scrambles to kind of protect himself and all of his puppet handlers, like the Larry Finks, like the Claytons, who he's there to protect. And good on Steven Narev. This guy is the real deal. Don't shit on him in the comments. I see some really rude people speak to this guy. He is a real gem. I've spoken to this chap in DMs. He is unbelievably cleansing for this space, and he is taking unreal risks against his own well-being to say what he's saying. So have some respect for him, those who are putting idiotic comments in the thread. I know it's not any of our lot, but it just goes to say that, you know, we have respect for the people in these communities. So 2024 is set to be a bumper year. I expect incredible moves in the market, certainly for Bitcoin and I dare say for XRP too. And we're going to see the markets wake up as we move into the top of the cycle, which will be kind of the 2026 things. Anyway, it's a good time for us all to take stock and kind of know where we're at. And I hope that's been a bit of a help for you all. It's the kind of stuff I talked to my friend about yesterday. There's a bit also other things that we talked about, but you know, I'm trying to keep this short and sweet in a 15-minute bite window for you all. Good times are coming. Keep stacking, keep holding, keep strong, and yeah, we're going to see very interesting things play out now. Everything is lining up as I've been watching this. Remember, I've been in this space, in the XRP space, since 2017. Certainly 2018, if it wasn't 2017, but I've been in the Bitcoin space since 2014, so I'm time served. That's not to say I'm not learning every day is a school day, but you know, I've got my eye on things and I can see developments. I can see how they use the media to push certain narratives. I'm not naive to this, so I can sense change coming. Okay, it's here. We're here. Okay, strap in. All right, guys. I hope this has all been good for you. drop a like in the like section, drop a comment, share the video if you want. Always subscribe to the channel, and come find me on Twitter. It's @Ripples in Wales here. All right, see you in the next video. Be blessed.